What's up, guys? Just woke up a couple minutes ago. Got an update, leaks by Daylight Reddit page, that the new developer update 2019 November is out. So let's go through it, shall we? A lot of big changes. We're going to be talking about dedicated servers, the archives changes, exclusive cosmetics that are going to be given to everyone, ultra rare cosmetics. They're going to talk about future events. And most importantly, and I think the most interesting, changes to the spirit and her add-ons. All the information, including values and everything. So let's go through it, shall we? Developer update, November 2019. Dedicated servers. For a little over a month, dedicated servers have been live on the PC version of the game. Over the course of this test, we have often been asked why the servers were left on without any updates. We'd like to take this opportunity to explain a little more about this test. First and foremost, we can tweak certain values behind the scenes without requiring a game update. This includes things like what the game deems to be an acceptable connection and various matchmaking elements. This way, we can test a variety of changes without forcing everyone to update their game repeatedly. Leaving the servers on also allows us to collect far more feedback. We are hard at work making sure that as many gameplay issues as possible are ironed out before the full launch of dedicated servers. We have been including some fixes for some of the most pressing issues in recent updates, including a fix for delayed stalking in the 3.3.2 hotfix, thanks to the reports we have received thus far. We are also looking to improve certain killer powers, perks, example dead hard, and the interaction system, example kicking pallets or generators. This is going to be interesting, and I'm interested to see what they do with that. Finally, this test gives us an opportunity to test the upcoming disconnection handling system, which allows us to better punish people who disconnect excessively. We want to make sure that disconnects are being tracked accurately so players aren't wrongly timed out, and to do so we need to leave dedicated servers enabled in order to test the new detection. In case you missed it, you can find the details of this system here. That link will be in the description. Also, the whole link to this entire page will be in the description as well, so if you want to follow along. Next, the archives. With the last mid-chapter patch, we launched the brand new feature, the archives. We're happy to see the mostly positive reception so far, although we are taking note of feedback as well. We'd like to address some of the common feedback we've received from the first Rift and Tome. One of the main talking points is the difficulty of the first tome. The first level of this tome is fairly easy to complete, often taking only one match to complete a given challenge. This was intentional. By our design team, we wanted to make sure that the first level served as an introduction to the archive so everyone could get an understanding of how the feature works. At the same time, due to an error, some of you may have seen a sneak peek of the fourth level of the tome. Yes, definitely saw that. This level is significantly more difficult than the first. The intention is for the levels to gradually become more challenging the further you progress. With that in mind, we intend to use the following levels to gather feedback and adjust future levels and tomes if needed. We had also previously announced the dates for each level of the tome that would release. However, due to the unforeseen delay of the 3.3.0 update, we need to push back the release dates for these levels to match. The new dates are as follows. Level 2, November 13th. Thank you, that was yesterday. Tome 1, Level 3, November 27th. Tome 1, Level 4, December 18th. Exclusive cosmetics. Alongside the launch of Chapter 14, we'll be granting everyone the following cosmetics. I am definitely a killer main, but all of this is welcome. There are 3 killer pieces. Chuckles, which is an ultra rare trapper mask. Hound, an ultra rare or an event huntress mask. And Propane Hammer, the hillbilly event weapon. So that's cool. The rest are for survivors. If you want to have a look at what they are, just click on the link in the description below. There are a few reasons why we've decided to unlock these cosmetics for everyone. To start, most of these cosmetics were unlocked using Steam codes that could not be unlocked on the console versions of the game, meaning we couldn't give these codes to console players. Given this limitation, we have moved away from exclusive items in recent years and want to continue the trend of making cosmetics available to everyone equally. Most importantly, the codes for these cosmetics were also being sold by code resellers for exorbitant amounts of money. Others were taking advantage of this by creating fake listings to scam people out of their money. This is something we do not endorse and not something we are able to support if someone does fall victim to one of these scams. By giving these cosmetics to everyone, we hope to put an end to these shady resellers and scams while also including everyone regardless of the platform they are on. Cool. free stuff. I love free stuff. Let's talk about future events now, and then we'll get into spirit changes. Recently, we've changed the way we handle in-game events and wanted to take a moment to explain why we're putting elaborate objectives on hold. Unique event objectives take a huge amount of time to create and test, taking up time that could be spent fixing bugs, creating new content that's available year-round. Going forward, events will be focused around extra blood points through offerings and or blood hunts. Awesome. Blood hunts, for those of you who don't know, are double blood point weekends, archive challenges, and event exclusive rewards with the free track of the Rift. This allows us to focus our efforts on game health, which we ultimately feel is for the best. I agree. The problem with events is you have to keep elaborating on the event every year for the veteran players, or it just doesn't feel worth it. And for the newer players, I don't know, that it doesn't seem like it's all that necessary. I've only been playing for a couple months. I mean, I bought the game like 3 years ago, but I only played it a little bit, and I've been playing for a couple months now, and double blood points would be very welcome. I would much rather take double blood points or like extra things through offerings like we did for this Halloween event. But that's just me. All right, let's talk about the spirit changes. Last thing we'd like to talk about today are the changes coming to the spirit in the 3.4.0 update. So the 3.4.0 update is the new chapter, which will be coming with the new killer. The spirit has been a polarizing subject recently, with a lot of players finding her to be frustrating to play against. We also noticed that she appears to be performing far above expectations. With all this in mind, we have made a few adjustments that should make her feel fairer, I don't know if that's a word, for everyone. Collision during Yamoka's haunting. Currently, the spirit maintains her collision while using her power, since phasing prevents the spirit from seeing survivors. Anytime she bumps into something she can't see, she immediately knows that a survivor is there. This takes a big part of the skill and counterplay out of the equation, allowing her to know exactly where someone is before reappearing. With this in mind, we have removed collision from the spirit while she is using her power. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Similar to what they did with nerfs, this makes the skill cap for spirit higher. Or the, the skill floor for spirit higher. So people need to be very good at tracking audio and scratch marks. Window vaulting animation. Although the spirit appears to climb through windows from a killer's perspective, survivor currently sees her stand at the window briefly before phasing through it. This left the survivor with very little time to react, leaving the survivor to guess whether she's actually vaulting the window and hope for the best. The spirit will now play a window vaulting animation from the survivor's perspective. This is fine. The fact of the matter is, most people, when they see a killer walk up to a window, like say you're looping Shack Pallet, and the killer, you vault the window, and then you stand at the little corner, and the window's over here, you're gonna stand at that corner and hug that corner, and you're gonna wait to see if they vault the window, because if they don't vault the window, then you know to keep running through and you can do a loop. If they don't vault the window, then you're not going to run through again. Like, the fact of the matter is, most of the windows where you want to watch them vault through, you won't be seeing their animation until they're all the way through, you know, or like maybe a fraction of a second sooner. So I don't know. If like they want to change it, that's fine. They adjusted the speed curve post phase. The spirit currently retains her phasing speed for a short period of time after exiting her power, before returning to her normal 4.4 meters per second movement speed. We've altered the curve to be more gradual, similar to the Wraith. Fine. I think that's a good change. Add-on changes. We've done a pass on some of the spirit's more problematic add-ons. Great, here we go. The Katana Tsuba. Decrease the post-phase speed boost duration from plus 0.25 seconds to plus 0.2 seconds. Fine. That's not much of a nerf. Barely a nerf. This one's a big one. Wakazashi Saya. I don't know how to pronounce these, excuse me. Decrease the post-phase speed boost duration from plus 0.5 seconds to plus 0.3 seconds. That's a big nerf. That's almost a 50% nerf to this add-on. What is that, 40% nerf? Yeah, 40% nerf to this add-on. That's huge. That's a lot. So now using these two together, you used to get an extra 3/4 of a second of speed boost duration. Now you do not. Now you can get half. you can get 25% less. So, okay. These add-ons allowed the spirit to cover a large distance very quickly after phasing. By toning these add-ons down, she will now need to be closer to the survivor after phasing in order to follow up and get a hit. Yukuyoki Amulet, don't know if I'm saying that right either, removed the recharge rate modifier. So this was the amulet that gave her like a bunch of stats. It gave her recharge rate, it increased the duration by 1 second, and it gave her a speed boost while using her power. So this was the one, you know, like the carburetor tuning guide for Billy. So they removed the recharge rate modifier. Okay. That's already a big hit for it. They increased the haunting duration bonus from 1 second to 3.5 seconds. So now you don't get 1 second of extra time in your haunting, you get 3.5 seconds of extra time. And then they decreased haunting speed modifier. It used to give you 10% extra speed while using your power. Now it gives you minus 15% speed while using your power. I don't have the numbers pulled up for this. Minus 15% might make you a 4.6 killer using her power. I don't know if that'll be worth it anymore. It might just completely break this into the ground. This seems like it won't ever be used. So, oh well. This add-on increased various aspects without any trade-off, making it a clear choice in any loadout. I disagree. This change gives the add-on a more unique identity, trading movement speed for extra duration. The fact of the matter is people weren't using this already, so why, you know, like the strongest spirit builds weren't using this. The strongest spirit builds were either using a speed boost post duration for like crazy lunge hits, or they were using prayer beads and activation time, or just straight activation time, or prayer beads and duration, because you could make it farther to generators and plug people. And so the fact of the matter is this wasn't used. So a nerf seems weird. Let's see. White hair ribbon, bloody hair brooch, and prayer beads are changed next. So the white hair ribbon used to increase your charge speed by 30%. Now it increases it by 20%. 10% has been removed. Bloody hair brooch used to increase your charge speed by 50%. Now it increases by 30%. Whew, that's rough. Now you can increase your charge speed by 50% with 2 add-ons, and you used to be able to do it with 1. And you used to have this one too, which would make it 80% faster. Don't know if I like that. Prayer beads bracelet. Phasing sound effect is now global and can be heard anywhere in the map rather than silent. By far the most controversial add-on, Prayer Beads Bracelet would previously hide the sound effect that would play when the spirit is phasing outside of her husk's terror radius. This meant that survivors were constantly at risk of being pulled off a generator with no warning or chance to react. By making this sound global, survivors need to be on edge as they won't know whether she's near them. This allows the survivor to choose if they want to take a risk and continue what they're doing, or if they want to play it safe and move away. I don't know about this one either. I don't know what they could have done to prayer beads. I don't think this is the right way to do it. Because if I'm in a chase with someone, and I'm phasing, I don't want them to hear that I'm phasing. Prayer beads is really bad now. Prayer beads is very, very terrible. I see where they were going with it. They wanted to make it like the Wraith add-on, where it's everyone hears his bell regardless of distance. I don't think they did it right. I don't think that's the correct way to play it. I don't know what I would have done, but I don't like it. It definitely wasn't great before, but like they took away... Okay, so the big problem with prayer beads wasn't exactly that it made it so that you couldn't react. Like that was the problem. But the real problem was collision. Like, she could have Whispers trigger and have, like, Monitor and Abuse or something. So, Whispers would trigger at 32 meters. I think it's 32. Whispers would trigger at 32 meters. You could tell which generator they were on, the person. You'd go into your power, and you'd zoom over there, and you'd wait until you bump someone, and then go behind them and pluck them off. If you can't bump them, even if they don't hear it coming, they're just... You're taking a guess? Like the spirit's guessing. Like the problem was the collision. I don't know if that seems like a really big nerf to prayer beads. I wouldn't use this. I think that, like, the only realistic solution now, or add-on combination, is decreased charge speed. Everything else is nerfed into the ground. Maybe the Yokoki amulet or whatever might be interesting. Massively increased duration, but I don't know. You'd have to put on speed add-ons too. It's too weird. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As spirit changes, do you think that they were a bit too excessive? Do you think she was okay before and maybe just like prayer beads needed a nerf? Do you think that this isn't enough and you want her nerfed into the ground so she's worse than like Legion and Wraith? No hate, no hate. Let me know in the comments below.